So for the Diet Tips website, we've got two sections at the moment. We've got a home page and we've got a blog page, and one of the pages we created was the About Us page. Now, if we look at our first menu right at the top here, you'll see you've got home and blog. These are the two pages that was created within WordPress when we created it, as well as a page called sample page. Now, as you can see in this top menu here, we only have home and blog. If I scroll right to the bottom, we'll have the new page, which is About Us, the blog, home, and sample page. So the reason we've got these right at the bottom is because we haven't set a menu for the bottom of the page, right? But there is a menu set for the top of the page. There is another section which is the very top bar, which is something we can activate or deactivate, which will have a menu right at the top here where you can see that we logged into WordPress at the moment. Okay, so there's another little bar there which you can add a separate menu to. So you can have a menu here and then another different menu over there, and then right at the bottom you can have another different menu there. Okay, so let's look at menus within the WordPress dashboard. If we go to our menu, if we go to WP admin of your website, My Diet Tips in our example, you go to the WordPress dashboard and you'll see under appearance and then under menus, this is where you get. Right now, standard, this is how it's been set up. There's a primary menu that's been created, and under primary menu, we've got home and we've got blog. Right, that's the two we see over here, home and blog. So this line over here, that section from here to there is our menu for the primary menu for this particular theme, Tiny Hestia. Some themes, menus look different. Remember that. Okay. So primary menu, home and blog. If you click on that, you'll see there, this is a page. If I click on the down arrow, it's got the navigational label, so we can call this something else if we want to. We don't have to call it the same name as what the page has. And we can then remove it here. We can move it down one, for example. We can swap them around. Okay, we can also just drag it like that and do this. So then the blog and the home would be swapped around. There's also another section where you've got like a sub-menu concept. So let's say I'm going to move that back again. I'm going to move that to the right a little bit. At the moment, this will now be a sub-item of home. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to save that just to understand the concept of a sub-item in your menu. So I've saved that. If I go back to my website, My Diet Tips, and refresh that, remember we only changed the section in our primary menu, which is the one at the top here, and you see now you've got home and under that blog. Right, so you can add lots of sub-items under that. Okay. Let's say, for example, we want to add our About Us page in there. So under most recent on the left hand side we've got pages, posts, custom links and categories, but let's just look at pages first, and we look at the sample page. So I can select that one, say add this to the menu. It's just going to pop it at the bottom there, right? So what you could do is leave it there, and we're going to have home, sample page, sub item, blog, or we can, for example, put that underneath the home section as well, or we can even put it under the blog section. So let me just want to show you the power of these menus. You can have quite a lot of things embedded underneath each other. So let's look at that. If I refresh my Diet Tips again, you'd see that under home I've got blog, and under blog I've got sample page. Right, so you can do quite a bit like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to move the sample page back. I'm going to take the blog, put it right at the bottom, click on save again. Now we should see home, sample page, and blog underneath each other. Let's have a look. So if I refresh that, well, not underneath each other, next to each other, sorry. There you go. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's adding pages, removing pages, and things like that. So what we want is really to use the home, sample, and blog and change that to the menu we really want. Okay, so we're going to remove all of these and going to add new ones. Okay, because at the moment our home page was the standard page created, and for us home is really our blog posts. Okay, so if we go here and we click on home, we're not going to get you this, which is our blog post. We're going to go to the actual page called home. So it's going to be mydiettips.net/home. Let's click on that, and you'll see there, okay, it went to home, and home's got nothing in it. It was just a standard page created for us. So we don't really care about this home page. We're going to remove it. We're going to make sure that this is going to be our new home page. So whenever we click on home, we'll be going to this page. All right. At the moment, this menu item there, that logo is also a menu item in a sense. It'll always take you back to this particular page, which in other words, it'll take you to your domain. So I'm going to copy the domain, and I'm going to create a new section in the menu that's going to be called home, but instead of taking you to the page home, it's going to take you to mydiettips.net. And then I'm going to add the about page and remove the rest because we don't want that. Okay, so let's do that. Right, so first we're going to go and remove all of these ones. So one by one, click on them like that, remove, and remove the blog as well. Right, now we're going to add in the information we want. So first of all, we want a custom link, which is custom link we want is because the one that we just saw was HTTPS my diet tips, and then we call that home. Right, so I'm going to add that to the menu. So now I've got home in the menu, which actually is going to take us to our URL domain name, which is our home page. Right, then we're going to add one more page, and that's going to be our about us page. So that's the one we also created. So these are the two pages we want in our primary menu. So I'm going to click on save. And you'll see if we refresh here, you know, the two home and about us. So if I click on home, it should take us back to the page we're on now. So that's perfect. Okay, it took us right back there. And about us, it's going to take us to our about us page we created together. Really nice. And we can click on home, go back to HTTPS. There you go, my diet tips. If we click on about us again, and we click on our logo, that's also going to take us back to our home page. Right, so whenever the user wants to go back home, you can click on home or on the actual icon. Okay, so that's our primary menu. Okay. At the bottom here, you'll see you've got display location, primary menu, footer menu, and very top bar menu. Okay, at the moment, this primary menu, the menu called primary menu, is set to only show in the primary menu section. That is why if we go to this page at the bottom, we still see the about us, blog, home, and sample page, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to add that, and we're going to say now that's going to be our footer menu as well. So now at the bottom of the page and the top of the page, we're going to have the same menu section, right? So if I click here, refresh, we'll see that home and about us should be right at the top, and it should be right at the bottom. There you go. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Remember that we can do this for posts as well. We can add a post into our menu structure. So for example, we've got one post at the moment. Let's add it in just to show you. Okay, I'm going to add that in there. Okay, click on Save Menu. The Stone Age Diet Solution is now going to be part of our menu. Okay, so if I go there, click on Refresh, it's going to be at the bottom as well as at the top. See there? Okay. Let's remove that because we don't really want that there. That was just an example. Click on Save. Right. So that sort of covered our menu allocations and the different menu item selections we can use. Next, we're going to look at menu options within themes.